Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the God of Knicks podcast. I'm your host, Apollo Reed, and we are here after the Knicks just now beat the Brooklyn Nets 114 to 104, I believe. Yes, 114 to 104. Pretty convincingly, not like the last game that we played against the Nets. That wasn't fun. But I mean, at least we got the dub. Thank God. Unfortunately, I'm here by myself. Everybody else got stuff to do. But we here, man. We here. So let's get right into it. Let's get some of these stats up here. We had a big, pretty good game by OG and Anunoby tonight. He's been very reliable as of recent. Offensively, I can't say it's pretty much since the start of the season. 24 points, 9 to 17 from the field, 3 to 7 shooting from the 3-point line, 3 to 5 from the free throw line. He's just been very reliable on the offensive end, defensive end. He's really pretty much our best all-around player. If we're really being honest, he's our best all-around player, and it's not even close. He just brings so much to the squad. He got 40 minutes tonight. I mean, it's Tom Thibodeau's team. What do you guys expect? He played 40 minutes. Mikal Bridges played 44 minutes and 57 seconds. That's 46 minutes. He missed 2 minutes of the game, of the entire game. But, he's playing against his old team. That's what you expect him to pretty much do. But, yeah, man, OG Anunoby has been pretty good, man. Worth the money as a lot of people have been worrying about. He hasn't necessarily been worth the money is what everybody's been saying. But in the past 10 or so games, man, there's nothing much you can really say. Actually, outside of the first game, I don't really think you can really say much about OG in terms of what he brings to the squad and is he worth what he's worth and the value that he is. Just great all around effort from OG. We're gonna run through some things. I'm not gonna be here alone tonight. Just come on here, get to see you guys. I haven't talked to you guys in a minute. Haven't got the squad together in a minute, but we are going to continue to get these out for you. So Karl-Anthony Towns tonight comes in. He was 10 to 16 from the field. His efficiency is ridiculous. 1 to 3 from the 3-point line. He only took 3 threes, which is good in a way because I don't want him shooting too much from behind the arc and not being aggressive. But he's been everything. He's been super aggressive. 5 for 5 from the free throw line. 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 26 points. And the unfortunate case of the foul syndrome we've had with Karl-Anthony Towns, he just doesn't know where to put his body on defense. It's kind of annoying to watch. I love the guy. I love what he's been bringing so far, but sometimes these fouls, like I don't know, like the 5th one he drew, it was kind of like, why did you throw your body into him? Like it's really just body control with Cat. Bad habits that I don't know if it's too late to get rid of these things, but at some point you got to slow down and say, you know what, let me just play good defense, but outside of that, you can't complain. He's probably the best. He's the best offensive player on this team so far this season. Brunson hasn't really gotten it together for some odd reason, but he's still Jalen Brunson. What's going on, Xavier? What's going on, my guy? What's going on? Shout out to you. Yeah, man. It's been Cat's just really been struggling from the foul standpoint of things. But hopefully you plus 14 in the plus minus stat. I don't know, man. It's the fouls. Tibbs couldn't even really play him down the stretch because he was just in foul trouble. He couldn't stay out of foul trouble. So Tibbs continued to go with Jericho Sims down the stretch, and man, might I say Jericho Sims gave us some pretty good minutes. It might not show up on the stat sheet, but he's been playing good basketball, man. He's being in the right spot, especially tonight. Last game, Huck Porty was just amazing. I would like to see more Huck Porty minutes. You didn't see any Huck Porty minutes tonight at all, as you can see here. No Tyler Kolek minutes. Matt Ryan and Jacob Toppin, I'm not surprised. Miles McBride was hurt, so I kind of expected that. But I am happy to see him coach throw in Pacome Daddy as much as possible. because he's been impressive. You got to reward the guy. He's coming in as a rookie, trying to do as much as he can at that spot. So, good to see him get some minutes. But yeah, man, when Cat's not really rolling, you got to throw some other bigs in there. And Jericho stepped up tonight, pretty big. He had an alley oop from Josh. He could add another alley oop from McCall. I don't know why I threw it, but I guess they wanted to save some time. On the clock. It was under a minute left. But Jericho played well tonight. I mean, the stats won't say it, of course, but he played pretty decent. You know what I mean? I've been trying to lay off of Jericho because everybody's been hounding for Jericho to get out of their lineup. And Hug Porty just proved that he's an NBA player last game. But good to see Jericho have a good outing tonight. 2 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a block. The block was against which was impressive because you saw him guard Schroeder on the perimeter, and he goes up, he stays with him. Schroeder tries to get past him, and he still blocks him at the rim. No foul. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see from the guy. And you're not gonna get a lot of numbers out of Jericho, but it's good to see him being useful. You know what I mean? And I'm happy for that. McCall's been balling, man. He's been playing up to his potential. The past 2 games, I think he had 22 and I forgot it. He had 22 points last game, 21 points this game. He ended up with 6 rebounds as well, an assist, a steal, a block, only 2 fouls, plus 16, the highest plus minus on the team. Just everywhere he was supposed to be tonight. 3 for 10 from the 3-point line. You wish he'd hit more than 30% from 3, but he's been playing better as of late, man. Everybody's been on his tail because he hasn't really been playing up to his potential. But this is what you want to see. You want to see him knocking down a lot of those middies that he was knocking down tonight, and getting to his spots, and just helping out the team as much as he can. Have 4 guys in the starting lineup at 20 points. It's great. It's very impressive, especially because Jalen Brunson wasn't one of those guys. He struggled from the field mightily tonight. As you can see his stats, he was 3 for 14 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3, 12 points, 10 assists though, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. So he was active. His shot wasn't falling, but he was doing everything else that he should be doing as the captain and making his stamping his mark on this game. Josh Hart, man, the guy's just, I'm gonna start calling him Iron Man. I'm gonna start calling him Iron Man because he's just everywhere, man. Everything that he does is besides for that foul on Kobe White the other night, which happens, it happens. You can't play perfect defense all the time. They came out and said it was the right call, which it was. He had his hand on his back. So, excuse me. Another reason why it's gonna be a short night. 20 points from Josh Hart, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. The guy's just everywhere, man. Only 1 foul tonight. 1-1 from the free throw line, 3 of 7 from the 3-point line. That's what I like to see from Josh. Matched OG with his 3-point attempts, his 3-point line tonight. 8 of 13 from the field, man. Josh is just being everything that you want him to be. I can't really complain about whatever Josh brings us. As long as he stays healthy, man, I'm good. Shout out to you, Knicks 100 GM. He says Sims. Yeah, man. Sims he had very good minutes tonight. He played very good minutes. You can't take that from him. He played some good minutes tonight. Unfortunately, we know that he's not going to play super big minutes when Mitch comes back. I wish that was different, but at the end of the day, you kind of understand that, unless he's bringing something different than Mitch, there's no reason for the coach to play him with these many minutes. 18 points a game. You're not really going to see that from him, unfortunately. But Mitch is on his way back soon. He posted a picture. Mitch is funny. He posted a picture the other day, and I think it was yesterday. Excuse me. He posted a picture and he said that I don't know why he posted the picture. It was just a picture of him in his jersey. And then he said he got drug tested the next day. I don't know what's going on. But shout out to Mitch, man. He's been struggling to stay off social media as much as possible. But shout out to him. We miss Mitch. But in his absence, you would like to see Jericho and Hug Porty and those guys step up the way they have, which they have been. So um Mitch as well. I mean, Towns as well. He's been stepping up in that spot. But the biggest talk of the town has been: does he start at the 4 when Mitch comes back, or do you just keep him at the 5? And personally, me, I want to see him run some minutes with Mitch, even if Mitch doesn't start, even if this lineup stays. I would like to see a lot of minutes with Mitch and Carl together out there, just because of how much he protects the floor and how much he can get offensive rebounds. Makes it easier for Cat. Cat doesn't have to bang around with these guys as much. He won't be guarded by the biggest guy anymore, so he can probably get his own. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that aspect of basketball looks like when Mitch comes back. Yeah, man, I campaigned tonight. He hit some big shots. All his shots. My goodness, guys. All his shots were from the 3-point line. He made 3 of them. But he's just been making those big shots. He also had 9 points, 6 assists, 2 fouls, but he's just been a vet, hitting the right shots, timely shots at the right time. It's being where he's supposed to be. And you need a guy like that on your team. You got to have a guy to come off the bench and just be scrappy, hit big shots, and put some pressure on the other team. And that's what he's been doing, man. I can't really complain too much, because he's really just been exactly what we needed. Just a veteran off the bench. You can't ask him for too much more. Xavier says, I think Porty has to get in the game tomorrow. He played the starters heavy minutes tonight, and we will need the defense. I agree. I agree. I think especially because it's a back-to-back, and we'll be playing the Wizards. We'll be playing the Wizards tomorrow at home. So I think we'll see Huck tomorrow. We might see Huck 40 minutes tomorrow. Jericho might need a break, but he only played 18 minutes. So hopefully, well, I guess we'll see what happens. But I am concerned with Cat and his back that he was holding after he fell. I think he might Huck Porty might garner himself some minutes, because it's a possibility that Jericho won't be starting tomorrow. I mean, will be starting tomorrow. So if Jericho's starting, then you gotta assume that Huck Porty is gonna be the backup. So I don't know, man. The guys have been balling. I want them to continue what they've been doing. Let's check the schedule here. Just to see what we got going on, because I know we play the Wizards tomorrow. Let's see. We played the Wizards tomorrow. Also, I think on Wednesday, or was it Thursday? It is. Whoa, what's going on here? It's Wednesday against the Suns. So, and now that's a 10 p.m. game. We'll be playing on Wednesday night at 10 p.m. So, that'll be a late game. We play the Wizards tomorrow at the Garden, 7:30, and then Wednesday we play the Phoenix Suns. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I don't know why I'm so tired. It's been a long day. We went out with the family tonight, had a good time. But also got to come back and watch my Knicks. So I'm excited about the chemistry that these guys are building. It was a struggle for a little while. I'm still concerned with the minutes the fouls from Cat. It's kind of like I don't know what's going on. We got to figure out how to keep him out of foul trouble. Xavier says, Jericho, Porty is on your neck. Better get it together. For sure. I mean, Jericho played well tonight. Serviceable. But once Sims actually had a decent game. Yeah, Sims actually had a decent game. Yeah. Once a Porty starts to get those little things together here and there, and he doesn't necessarily fall into the trap of just making the bad pass, because I think that's what he was trying to do last game. I think he played great minutes, but then he was starting to get to the point where he's trying to make plays, and he should just, like there was one he took a jump shot. Tibbs was pissed off, but I'm glad he took it because no one else would have. Jericho wouldn't have took it. Mitch wouldn't have took that shot. It was a mid range. He was open, but at the end of the day, take the shot. And I think was it Clyde might have said it, or might have been Kenny Alberts. He just said I like the fact that he took the shot. Because they're not going to respect you at all if you don't take it. And that's what I say all the time to people: just take the shot. I don't care if you miss the shot. But if you don't take the shot, then teams assume you're not going to take the shot. And then it's way easier to guard you guys because I don't have to put pressure on you. So, keep pressure on them. Keep pressure on them, man. Take the shot. Even if you miss, they have to respect the fact that you will take it, But, I want to see him to continue to bring more to the squad. I think that he'll learn and he'll get more minutes. I think there's a lot of minutes for Tibbs to figure out that position. He's not just going to start a guy and play him all day, all night. Which I understand. I'm not mad at that, but they make him earn the minutes. But Jericho has been here for a while, and I guess they want to do the due diligence of giving him the chance to earn those minutes. So, but he did play pretty decent tonight. He was in the right spots. He played good defense. He grabbed some good boards. He had some blocks. They threw an alley to him. It seems like, I think last game, Josh threw an alley to him, and tonight, Josh threw an alley to him, and it's starting to seem like Josh is the only guy that throws an alley to Jericho, which is crazy because he has so many hops. I mean, if you watch any of his G League highlights, he's jumping all over the place, and it's McBride that's tossing him a lot of these alley-oops, and he's just catching every single one of them. So you kind of want to see that here, but these guys just don't look for him. I don't know if it's a lack of respect. He doesn't make you want to throw the ball, just like that down the stretch in the last minute of the game. Mikal Bridges had the ball, and he could have just simply lobbed it up to Jericho, and Jericho kind of did the thing. He was about to jump, and he was like, what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, yo, bro, that's something that they should be looking for all the time. I don't blame him for being upset, and also at the same time, I don't blame them for not looking for Jericho, because sometimes he just doesn't make you press as much. I don't know. But good game from him tonight. Hopefully he can keep it up when he does get those minutes. What up, Jelani? Jelani says Sims is so awkward at the 5. Crazy thought. Is there ever a world where he comes in at the 4? In Tibbs' offense, I wouldn't doubt it. Tibbs would actually have to play him at the 4 next to Cat. And that's assuming that Tibbs could trust Cat at the 5. I think in the perfect world, Tibbs would want to start Cat at the 5 and leave him at the 5, but he just can't stay in foul trouble. I mean, he can't stay out of foul trouble. So he has to play Sims at the 4, at the 5 most of the time. And I think that's where the problem lies, is he just, it's I don't know. I think anytime someone is at least 6'10", Tibbs is gonna play him at the 5. I think Julius was the max. Julius was 6'9". He was like, yeah, I can't play him at the 5. As soon as you got somebody 6'10" like Jericho, it's like, yeah, he's a center. He's a center. So I mean, I don't know, man. I think the guy is a bona fide 5. Like Xavier says, he doesn't have a mid range, so it makes it very hard to play him at the 4. Man, that's why I can't wait to see what this lineup looks like when Mitch comes back. Because it's just very hard to say that you can trust. I don't know, man. I can't trust Towns at the 5 all season, especially seeing as though you get into foul trouble. Sometimes it's the third quarter, you already got 3-4 fouls. He how many minutes did he play tonight again? He played a total of 29. He played 30 minutes. Do you think Tibbs only wants to play Karl Anthony Towns 30 minutes? Nah. That's because of foul trouble. You need to you gotta be better with with your hands. He's always his hands in the wrong spot. He's putting his hands on guys, while they're going up for layups. He's jumping into guys with his hip. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But anyway, Johnny says play decent tonight. Happy to see that. He's talking about Sims. Yeah, for sure. He played decent. You have to see that. Xavier said, now you have to have an offensive game to play the four. And Jelani says, we had Nerlens Noel. I agree, though. It's crazy thought. What was that lineup? Nerlens? I know he was playing. He was playing because Mitch was out. So he was playing at the 5 most of the time. I think most of his minutes came at the 5. And did they play Marcus Morris or Bobby Portis at the 4 at that time? I don't know. But Nerlens Noel, man, that dude was peg hands. You couldn't catch anything. It's like he had 2 wooden sticks for hands, bro. And he couldn't catch. Every time you throw him an alley, he would lose it. You throw him, if you dropped him a bounce pass, you knew he wasn't catching it. Elfrid Payton just kept dropping them bounce passes. It just wasn't working. Just not fun to watch. But I'm glad those days are over. As Xavier says, dark. Those are dark times. Those are definitely dark times. But yeah, man, it's really good to see that we have options. I know we were worried about depth. We're looking a little bit better. Campaign has come back. He's playing a little bit better. You want Miles McBride to get healthy, and you need Mitch back. That's what you need. And I assume at some point, once Landry Shamet gets healthy again, they'll bring him back. So those are 3 guys that didn't play tonight that you will expect to see get regular rotation minutes that you didn't see tonight. Pacome Daddy, unfortunately, in that situation, might lose minutes, even though I'm glad that Tibbs is even playing them. The fact that he's just getting minutes from Tibbs in this situation says a lot about who Pacome Daddy is, and the fact that Tibbs should be even trusting him with playing this early because he typically doesn't trust rookies. But like I said, Deuce, you expect Deuce to be there. He didn't play tonight. Mitchell Robinson, he'll be back, and Landry Shamet, he'll be back as well. So I don't know what that says for Ariel Hagporty's minutes, Tyler Kolik's minutes, but guys are gonna lose minutes for sure. The Tibbs played 8 guys tonight. His starting 5, then played Jericho, Campaign, and Daddy 8. Now, if you have and Precious, I forgot about Precious. I'm forgetting about Precious. So if you have Mitch, you have Precious. You only play 8 guys tonight. You take one of those guys out, Pacome probably doesn't play as many when these guys get back to full health. So that's 7 guys, and then you add in Mitch. You add in Miles McBride, who didn't play tonight. I'm just talking about the tonight guys. Mitch, Miles McBride. That's 8 guys. Then you got Precious Achiuwa, that's 9 guys, and then Landry Shamet possibly, which is 10 guys. So do we see Tibbs go to a 10-man rotation this season? I think at some point he has to, with all of the tools that he has with guys that he could actually trust. I don't see why he wouldn't go to 10-man rotation. And that just bodes better for our chemistry. It makes guys not have to play as much. I miss Precious Achiuwa's just energy, being able to protect the basket, being able to just make the right plays with the ball. Coach has been trusting him a lot more this year. So, in the preseason, you started to see him come alive a little bit more after getting that contract. And that's kind of what you want to see. I want to see him playing a little bit better and get more responsibility in our offense, because I'm a big fan of Precious. I'm a huge fan. Definitely a huge fan. Going back to the chat, Xavier said, and he was a number 1 or 2 pick. Who are we talking about? Oh, Nerlens. Don't trust the process. Yes, I mean, that process was very lucky with Joel Embiid. If you're going to be that guy, Joel Embiid, that process is terrible right now. Been there his whole career. He just can't stay healthy. So hopefully they figure things out. Not our problem. Hopefully. He'll continue to not be our problem one day. Hopefully, these guys in the front office don't say, "Let's go get that guy." Once we get the full squad back, they have to start playing OG less. I think so, but I don't think they're gonna play him much less. I mean, if we're talking about taking 5 minutes away from OG in a game like tonight, you take 5 minutes from OG, he still gets 35 minutes. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with 35 minutes from OG. Unfortunately, OG is the kind of guy you can't sit him too much because we don't play well when he's not in. Like you saw at the end of the last game, he got fouled out, and we barely won that one. So unfortunately, he's a guy that has to play a significant amount of minutes in order for us to win, especially if he's on our roster getting paid that much. They're gonna play his ass. They're gonna say, "Listen, bro, 200 and how much? Go ahead and get out there." There's no way that they're gonna not play him. I mean, of course they're gonna try to preserve him. They will have rest games for sure. He will have rest games, but playing him less. If you talk about playing him less in terms of rest games, for sure. I think in terms of rest games, he might play because he hasn't had a rest game yet all year, which is we're talking about the Bionic Man right now. So I don't know, man. We really we do want to see him play a little bit less. Once Precious gets back, I can see OG. Once Precious and Mitch gets back, I can see OG taking a game off here or there. But I think that's probably where you stop there. I think you're still going to see some 35, 40-minute games from Tom Thibodeau. Tom's just going to play these guys a lot of freaking minutes, man. The guy's a nut. He's a nutcase. Johnny, so you think they're going to sit the guy that they drilled over? The same guy with the biggest contract on the team? No. Very true, man. They're not going to sit him. They're going to play him. They're going to make him worth it. Like this is another thing that I don't see Tibbs doing, and not because I don't want him to. I don't see him doing it because he's never done it. Like tonight, we're clearly winning. They put their bench in, and we still got our starters in. We finished the game with our starters in the game against the bench. Like Tibbs, as quick as Jalen Brunson can step on an ankle. You know what I mean? Campaign could have played those minutes, bro. Tyler Kolek could have played those minutes, bro. Pacome Daddy could have played those minutes. Let's go down the list. Who else? Hukporty, Matt Ryan, Jacob. Like, I don't care at this point. Put them in with the last minute and a half to go. You know what I mean? Especially when they put their bums in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying give up the game, but you know, at the end of the game, like if these guys are up a certain amount, like just let them run. You know. But you know, it's talking about Tom Thibodeau. I gotta check myself before I wreck myself every single time. But yeah, man, I want these guys to continue to have this chemistry. Jalen didn't play well tonight, but he's adjusting. I'm going to speak on that. Jalen Brunson is adjusting. Pretty significantly. He's at the point in his career where he's game plan for every single night, and you have to expect this. You know, we saw it in the playoffs. Once you saw Kelly Oubre on him, and they kept him on it, and Aaron Nesmith on him. And you saw what he was able to do with them not guarding him versus when they were guarding him. He was still getting his buckets, but at the end of the day, it's like it was tough. So we're starting to see now teams are putting their wings on him. Teams are putting their longest defender on him because they try to bottle him up. You know what I mean? He's shorter. He has shorter arms. Extremely talented. But he has to work extremely hard when he has a guy like that on him. So he's been making the right pass. That's what you want to see. Make these teams pay. If you want to double on Brunson or if you want to put a bigger body on Brunson, okay, cool. Put your best defender on Brunson, and then we'll let everybody else go to work. And once guys start to realize that, or teams start to realize like, this isn't really working, because it hasn't worked so far because we just have been gelling with chemistry. But I think once you get to the point where you get everybody back and you're winning games, at a certain point, it's not going to be, all right, especially the Nets, or think of, you know, like the Hawks when they had Dyson Daniels on them. Once these guys are rolling, guys like that can't play. because if these guys are rolling and everyone's balling, you got to go out there and get a bucket. You can't just put a guy out there who doesn't really play that much, doesn't have much offensive responsibility. You just got him out there to guard Brunson. If everyone's cooking at that moment, there's nothing you can do. You got to let the guy sit. You got to sit him. So I think once we get to the point where everyone else starts to gel consistently and it's hard for teams to figure out how to guard us, it's going to be harder for teams to just throw out a long wing to go defend Brunson all game long, because you got to get somebody in there who's going to score a bucket. And if you don't, then oh well, then pick your poison. You know what I mean? But I want to see that adjustment, but also I want to see Jalen Brunson adjust to having these guys on him. He's been struggling. He was 3 for 14 tonight. Let me check the numbers. 3 for 14. Am I wrong? I'm on point. 3 for 14 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. 6 of 8 from the free throw line. He's got to shoot better free throws as well, clutch ones especially. But that dates back to last year. 10 rebounds. I'm sorry, 5 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals. So I mean, and he only had 12 points. But you know Jalen Brunson is not falling off. I don't think the verdict's out. I think they're just putting longer defenders on him and they're making him work harder. So once he figures that out with enough film, he starts to see what guys are going to do and how they're going to throw certain matchups at him. I think he'll figure it out. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. That's so he said Blue the guys, I think his name is Boo Booey or there's something BOOBUIE or something like that. Boo Booey. He's on a G League team. Something like that, I believe. It might be in a G League team. Either way, I don't know if we see him this year at all. I mean, even if we're up by 30, guys got to really be hurt on top of that to see some Boo Booey minutes, because I just don't trust Tibbs. We're playing these kind of guys, man. I don't know. Lord. I don't know. But that's pretty much all I got. I don't want to sit here and talk too much about the game. I'm glad we got a win. I'm glad we were able to shut down our crosstown rivals in back-to-back games. The last one was pretty shaky. They came back from down 21 and they made it a game. They were up and we still finished that one. And we learned from our lesson, because the game before we were down 22, came back and lost the lead again, and then didn't hit the final shot from Jalen Brunson. So Brunson calmly knocked it down last game, and we walked away with the win. So now we walked away with another one. With the Knicks are once again over 500 for the second time this season. I think they're 7-6, 7-6, 7-6, I believe. Let me just double check this because I feel like I'm tripping right now. I believe they're 7-6. Anyway, I'm just happy to see them get chemistry little by little. It's gonna take a while. We need Mitch back, like a bad habit, to help us with the rebounding and interior presence and just defense. And once that happens, and these guys are starting to get back to the team we've come to love, I know we're missing a few key guys. I think one of the names, and I'll say this before I get out of here, one of the names that we don't really say when we talk about guys that left us, that aren't here anymore, that was here last year, that made a big impact, was Hartenstein, man. And Hartenstein is he's really been a piece that we've missed a lot. Just from his hustle, rebounding, making the pass. His passing is just amazing. So I'm glad to see Cat do some of that as well. But it's step by step, game by game. These guys are going to take a while to get that chemistry together. And once you get Precious back 100%, you get Mitch back 100%. You get Miles back feeling better. Also Landry Shamet. I think this is a different team and a better team than we're even seeing right now. But that's all I got. I thank you guys for tuning in to the Garden Knicks podcast once again. Like I said, I wish I had some of my teammates here with me. You know what I mean? But I gotta be Karl Anthony Towns right now, or OG or whatever. I'm just kidding. Shout out to my guys. Shout out to my brother Andre, my cousin Rick, and shout out to my boy, the regular Joe. I thank y'all once again for being here. If you're still here, please do me a favor. Hit that like, hit that bell, so you can be notified when we go live. Xavier, I think my cousin hit me up about something that you spoke to him about. Hopefully, we can get things going in that direction. That's a great idea you guys are speaking about. But until next time, thank you guys for being here. We will play the Washington Wizards tomorrow. Wednesday, we play the Phoenix Suns. Saturday, we play the Utah Jazz. So 3 games this week: Wizards, Suns, Jazz. Saturday will be an early game, 5 p.m. Didn't expect that. 5 p.m. game on Saturday, 10 p.m. game on Wednesday. Just a wonky schedule for this week. A back-to-back from tonight to tomorrow with the Wizards at 7:30 on a Monday. Then we play the Suns at 10 p.m. on Wednesday, and Saturday at 5 p.m. against the Jazz. Hopefully we can come away with 3 straight wins to add on to our last 2. Did we win the game before the Nets? I need to check our schedule before I double check that. Either way, hopefully we'll be here next weekend talking about some wins and a better looking team. And hopefully by the end of this week, we'll see a Precious Joshua sighting. All right. Well, until next time, y'all. I thank y'all for tuning in. Salute to you, my guy. Salute to the family. Peace and blessings to all y'all. And until next time, y'all have a good one. The Knicks are balling. They need chemistry. They need time. But this takes time. All right. Peace. Once again, peace.